Hello guys, welcome to Ride VIP the Ride channel. My name is Serge, and in today's video I want to talk about how much money did I make last week, and also let you know what else I have been up to, because you may notice I'm probably not posting every single day, but maybe like every other day, but sometimes I'll skip a day and post the next day, and that's because I've been a little busy. But first, let me tell you, currently, this video is pretty current, I guess. I guess it's got to be like 1 day old because I already posted the video today. So I'll post this video sometime in the morning. But this video is being recorded on a Friday. So what is this Friday? So it's the 24th of March. So I'm trying to be as current as possible. So anyways, last week I worked every single day, and I have pulled some double shifts. I worked about similar time with Uber and similar time with Lyft, and you may have seen those videos. I've made quite a bit of money with Lyft, and you probably seen that there was one video I made, let's say like $1,500 on Lyft and close to $900 with Uber. Well, I'm here to tell you that I've made $2,500 for that week. So some of the earnings, if I'm going to show you, went kind of like towards Monday, because you already know how it works when you're doing a 12-hour shift, especially at night, and you have to go work past 4 hours. It sort of goes into the next day, and that is why. So late Sunday at night, I recorded the video that I posted yesterday, and you could see kind of some of the earnings and some of my concerns with Uber's offers. I was not able to complete the quest. That quest, Uber made it very difficult to complete, and obviously I had a couple of videos very similar. One earlier in the day where I thought the way things are going, it's going to be not possible to finish the quest. Well, I still tried my hardest, but there's only so much you can do when all they want to give you is those very, very long trips, and I keep denying those, and then not getting any short trips in return. And then for a period of time, for 50 minutes, they just did not give me anything. And I was looking at the Lyft map, and I'm like, Lyft is surging. What's going on here? You know, and I made a video of that, and you guys probably seen that portion. And I knew that Uber's gonna prevent me from finishing that quest. So, well, yeah, I didn't finish it. You know, I just needed a couple more people, and I'm like, okay, fine. I'm just like logging off, and I think at 3:20 or something, I went ahead and I logged off, and I logged into Lyft, and I pulled a whole shift. I did close to 12 hours, if not 12 hours. For that shift, and plus Uber, I did like, I don't know, 11 or 12 hours or something, you know, give or take. So all in all, when I put all that together, I made $2,500 and then some. But I'm not gonna calculate other stuff, because I also had cash tips. Some people tip really well, like 20s, you know, as a tip. But anyways, moving on from that, obviously, you know, you would probably do the same if you're looking at the earnings that I did on Lyft compared to what I did on Uber for working similar type of hours and doing similar type of trips. I made double the money on Lyft in the same time period. Now, naturally, you might think, well, if you were to work for Lyft, you would make even more money. And while that's true, I think Lyft is also sucking me in. And I've been working with Lyft for the past 2 weeks, and not including this week. This week is not finished. I've been working this week as well. And I've been noticing that when I first started working for Lyft, after a long time not working for Lyft, I had all these quests ride streaks that offered me $21 for every 3 trips that I would do. So I took full advantage of that. That's why I worked double shifts, and I tried to complete as much as possible. I just worked super hard, you know. just trying to complete every single quest. I completed all the Lyft's quests, but was not able to complete Uber's quest. Well, with that being said, this week, at least early on in the week, I did not get those exciting ride streaks, and then the ride streaks would so far spread out. Like, I would get maybe like $9 ride streak per 3 rides for every maybe like 6 hours, you know, and they really spread them out, you know. And I'm like looking, I'm like, well, hopefully the weekend looks better. And I'm looking at the weekend, I mean, it looks a little bit better towards the morning. And I'm like, well, I don't know, you know, what should I do? Should I even attempt to do the Uber's quest? The Uber's quest would probably make me about like $250. I still got to complete Lyft's quest, which will probably make me like $135. So I have to do 40 trips for Lyft, while I have to do 60 trips for Uber. And I'm thinking, you know what? Uber made me feel, I don't know how they made me feel, you know. They made me feel that I cannot rely on Uber to complete a quest, because right when you think you got enough time, they could just simply choose to either give you long trips or just not give you nothing at all. And based on your comments, guys, you guys have been taken advantage of by Uber exactly the same way. Now, the only way to avoid this kind of stuff from happening is try your hardest to work right when a quest starts. Work all your hours as much as possible. Try to do as many as possible of the short trips. Just deny the long ones. Then you'll be able to complete the quest. But then, that's kind of like what I was doing towards the end of the at the end of the week for Uber. But I realized something. I've made only 100. What was it, like $180 or less than $180 for 12 hours working for Uber. In like 11 hours and 30 minutes. And I'm like, what? That's terrible. So I'm thinking the quest would have just made up the difference, technically. I mean, that is if I complete 50 rides, and I was not able to complete 50 rides. I would have gotten additional $160. And I was kind of thinking that if you complete only the short rides, then yes, you can complete the quest. But the rides are so cheap to begin with for all the short rides that you end up kind of like missing the income opportunity to begin with. Like, you're not going to make the $300 for 12 hours just from normal driving. And this is what we're kind of hoping for. We're thinking, well, if I could just make $300 a day for 300 for 12 hours, and I get a quest on top of that, like let's say like another 150, that's a $450 day. And if you get a quest for 250, you know, and you complete it, let's say Saturday, you complete one portion of it, then Sunday the rest, you could get an extra $150 per shift, or like $100 per shift extra. And that would feel really nice. Like, that would feel like we're accomplishing something. But instead, what we're gonna get is, we'll do a bunch of short trips so we could complete the quest. We'll make like $150 to $180 for a 12-hour period. And then when we complete the quest, we'll get an additional $150, $160. And that is even if you got the quest. Most people don't even have the quest. And I'm thinking, well, if that's all we're getting, I mean, you could have just worked the normal 12 hours, not thinking about a quest. Just take every ride offer that they give you. And I know it sounds counterintuitive, but I think if you just accepted every ride that came at you, overall, you will make, for 12-hour period, anywhere from $200 to $300. 200 would be on the low end, but I think it's a possibility to make just anywhere, maybe like around like even like 250 to 300 for 12-hour period, if it's on a weekend. Instead, if you're completing the quest, you'll make even less because of all the time wasted in between each trip, which still counts for your time worked. And if people are not tipping for those short rides because they're very cheap rides anyways, then you're just not going to make that much money, because you're wasting money on waiting for the pickup each time. The trip is very short, or it just pays very little. Like it's the shortest you could find, but it pays like $4 or $5, $3.5, $4 for a trip that maybe is taking you like anywhere from 10 minutes to 15 to complete. And I know you're probably shooting for less. I tried to get trips that's only like 7 minutes long. Like I'm looking at the thing and I'm thinking like, okay, I'm just gonna accept trips that are 7 minutes long. Impossible. I would still get trips like 12 to 15 minutes, and I'm thinking, fine, I'll take some of those. And then that takes me slightly out of the way, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll take this one that's taking me back to downtown because it's where everybody's at. And then that one's not even paying that well. It's kind of like almost like they know what's going on algorithmically without really putting a lot of thought or effort into it. Sort of like AI. They kind of understand that there's a quest. You will try to do the quest. You're going to act in such a way which is predictable. And they kind of understand, I guess, after a while, when you deny a bunch of long rides, that you're only taking short rides. And by you taking only short rides, they're like thinking, okay, so you're trying to complete the quest, huh? You're trying to get all the short quests? Okay, no problem. Short rides? Okay, no problem. Let's just give you the cheapest rides possible. That's I think what they're doing. And then you will do them, and then on top of that, you're not even gonna get any tips. And you already know, guys, some of these tips, they get stuck in a system for about a month or 2 months. Like literally, I haven't been working for Uber consistently now for like about a week. And every day I'll get like 1 or 2 tips that roll in. They're either being tips that people tipped and they're just now coming through, or people are finally remembering to tip. But there's been cases where a person tipped and it could take a month or 2 to show up. And I'm kind of thinking, that's ridiculous, because I know some tips, they show up right away and some just don't show up, which it could be another way for like Uber to control us, control our pay by just thinking, okay, well, you made enough this week. We're just going to hold these tips from you, and maybe we'll give you some of them next week, which I kind of hate, It's almost kind of like, I don't know. It's almost like if we want to get a tip, if the rider's going to tip, maybe to have them just tip us with Cash App or something. Because that's the only way to really guarantee that you're getting any kind of tip. And I'm kind of thinking, what if I print out like this little QR code with sort of like a tip jar around, and it says tip jar, and it says, please tip me through a Cash App or something, and they'll scan a QR code and maybe put it like on a headrest. Maybe that would work, because Uber's, I think they're taking our tips, to be honest, because a lot of these people, they're either lying or they tell the truth, but they're just about everybody I speak to, if I speak to them, they pretend like they always tip, but they could be lying, The only way to really get a guaranteed tip from that ride, and to make the rider feel like, well, they got a tip through the Cash App, and that somehow that creates more like a personal type of thing, where they know that after that ride, once it's done, if you didn't get a tip, that person just didn't tip you. So they will feel like they have to do it this way. If they don't, you will know that you just gave them a ride and they never tipped you. So I don't know. Maybe that could be the case. And then you already know some of these riders we take multiple times. And on multiple occasions, I'll take that same rider and they never tip none of the times. But of course, guys, I never give bad ratings when I don't get a tip. I don't know if some of you guys do. I don't recommend that you do that. But I think that is possible, that some of you drivers are giving a bad rating to some of these riders that are not tipping. I would not do that if I were you, if you guys are doing that. I'm not saying that you are, but I think that this is happening because some of these riders, they got a pretty bad score, and I haven't noticed nothing wrong, really. And who knows? But anyways, guys, that is that. I figured, I'll kind of talk a little bit about that because there is a problem. Hopefully we could come up with a solution to that problem. And as I said, I'm going to mention some of the other things that I've been doing, which has been slowing me down a little bit. I've been taking real estate course, and I also been working on some other YouTube channels, trying to build them up. So that's been taking my time. And also, I've been investing in the stock market, and I've shared that with you guys. If you guys want some free stocks, like 17 free stocks, feel free to go to the comment section of the video or the description section of the video, and I'm going to provide a link to the app that I'm using, which is Moomoo. They're giving 17 free stocks. I don't know how long the promotion's gonna last, but hey, it's free. It's like, if you're not even thinking about investing at this point, because the stock market's going down, then maybe just get some free stocks. That's it, But I seriously feel that it's the right time right now to start investing. Do not take this as financial advice. I'm not trying to advise anybody on anything when it comes to finances. When it comes to investing your money in the stock market, especially, because to each its own, and you could invest money and completely lose it all. That is always a possibility. But I think if you were thinking about investing in the stock market, I don't think it has been a better time than right now because of how down the stock market is right now. It's on sale. So if you could imagine a store, let's say like electronics store, I think that would be the best comparison. And you could see that the TVs are on sale 90% off. You might be thinking, maybe it's time to buy that TV because the TV is 90% off. What if tomorrow is not going to be 90% off? But you buy the TV at 90% off, but tomorrow you come in, the TV is going to be 95% off. So maybe you feel like you should have waited. But you really never know if the TV is going to be 95% off, or like 98% off, or it's going to go back up in price. You just never know that, and that's how stock market works. You cannot time the market going up or down. The only thing you can do is make a decision whether to invest now or wait to invest later. And I'm choosing to throw some money at it every week because I'm thinking about long-term investing. Any money that you invest right now, if you think about day trading, you will probably lose your shirt because these stocks could be potentially going down, and some of them could even have bankruptcy. But I'm looking back and remember GM in 2009. I was going to buy 500 shares of GM because it was 50 cents a share. And a buddy of mine was like telling me, no, don't buy them. Haven't you heard? They're going bankrupt, man. There's going to be bankruptcy. And I'm like, well, I do think they're bad, but I didn't feel that they're going to bankrupt. I mean, GM is GM, That's Chevrolet, that's Cadillac, that's GMC. So I didn't think that was going to happen, but well, I listened. I did not invest. And now GM stock is down, but it's $32 a share. It was 64 about a month ago. And I'm thinking, man, if I invested at 500, I would have had about $64,000 about now. And that's why I'm thinking I'm no longer going to listen to anybody. I'm only going to use money that I do not need to have right now, because anytime I need money, I could just go work for it. I could get that money. I could pay my bills or pay whatever. But what I'm going for right now is this in my life. I'm paying off any kind of credit card I have, any kind of payment plan I have, and anything, paying it all off. I'm shrinking my expenses because I think we're getting ready to face a major financial downturn. I don't know what it's going to be like, but I think it's going to be pretty bad. Probably the stock market is going to be the least of your worries. But I'm kind of thinking like this. If I protect myself as much as possible, remove as much expenses as possible, and think about investing right now, I will be better off. But the only money that I invest is this. It's the money that I don't need. Like, I'm not thinking about like I need that money to survive on. There's another thing that I'm considering. I have not made the final decision yet. I'm thinking about should I or should I not invest the $16,000 I saved up for my shop that I was thinking about building? And I know if I build it, it's going to do a lot of good because I don't have to really do a lot of this right here. I could just focus on fixing cars, make money that way. But at the same time, if I invest it in some of the stocks that are down like right now, like crazy, like 10, 15 times down, yeah, possibility of them going bankrupt. If I maybe risk it, and I'm saying like don't invest, don't put your money in one like in a single basket. But some of these stocks, I'm like if I just did that, I might make $250,000, $500,000 on that money. And I'm like, well, would I even make this kind of money in my shop? And then, and of course, I'm looking at it, I'm thinking like, well, this is only going to be like 3, 4, 5 years from now that I'll actually see those returns. And the cool thing about the stock market is, if you look at how the rich people do it, I'm not rich, but I'm planning to be rich. When they have shares in companies and they have a bunch of stock, they don't sell those shares. They just keep it and they use it as leverage to get loans on real estate or whatever. Because if you sell your stocks, you're gonna pay capital gains tax. If you do not sell them and instead use it as leverage, then you just borrow against it. That means you don't pay any taxes on the money that you borrow. Yeah, you'll pay an interest rate, but you borrow that money and then you could use it for whatever you need, which will be cheaper than having to sell. It just creates a lot better opportunities. Because I'm thinking, I was investing in cars. Now I'm thinking about selling some cars, putting them on the stock market, and then 3, 4 years from now, the housing market I think is going to start crashing, and then because it's all in a bubble, could be wrong, but then I'll be selling or leveraging the stock market to buy real estate, and creating rental properties and such, so that I could just build generational wealth if possible. But anyways, guys, that is the dream. I like to keep things simple. I don't try to be smarter than anybody, but I think the funny thing is you could just be like a normal person and you could just invest at the right time and ultimately become a millionaire. That's what it takes sometimes. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.